it's important for you to understand wise relationships and being a God lover. Now, let me give you some things real quick in understanding about relationships. Wise relationships are the currency of the kingdom.
There you go.
You need to get that in your heart. Wise relationships are the currency of the kingdom. So surround yourself with faith risk takers who stand with you as you attempt to do the vision and the promises of God. It's important that you understand that that relationship becomes your currency. Watch the person more from what they do than what they say. Watch a person more for what they do than what they say. I've had a lot of people in my 55 years blow a lot of smoke at me.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to do this for you, do this for you, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and where are they? Yeah, they're on the backside of the desert somewhere. But see, I watch what a person does. I watch their character. I watch their lifestyle. I watch more than what they say. I want to understand what they do. So wise people watch what people do more than what they say. That makes sense to you? So choose relationships, listen to me, that are going to edify you, that are going to build you up. They will correct you, but they will build you up. They will speak discipline to you, but they'll build you up. My relationships never correct me and leave me bleeding. They correct me, pour oil into me, give me $10,000 and say, go do what you're going to do. Thank you for those amen. So, wise relationships do 8 things. I'm going to give them to you rapid fire. You want to write them down. They do 8 things. Number 1, they feed your faith system with confidence in God. They tell you that you can do it because God is with you. Secondly, they encourage you to grow and to sow. I have to grow to keep sowing. The third thing, they unlock in you a spirit of gratitude as they speak faith to your life where God brought you from and where God's taken you to. James Payne remembers where God brought me from. And every once in a while, he'll remind me how far God's brought me. See, that's a good friend that will take you back down memory lane and say, look what the Lord has done. Look what God has done in your life. So you need relationships that will help to unlock your gratitude. Fourthly, correct you if you're wrong in love. Number 5, never will they be judgmental. They are gracious. They are kind. They are correcting you, but not judging you. Number 6, they will help develop your character. A real God relationship that is a wise relationship wants to see your character develop. So when you're under a fiery test, you're under pressure, they help you understand God is developing you. God is working with you. Number 7, they will push you to pursue greatness. I remember when James Payne said to me, I'm going to recommend you to do a telethon for a TV network. I said, no, thank you. I said, not in front of the whole world am I going to look like a fool. He said, oh no, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to mentor you, and I'm going to train you, but this network needs you. And I said, well, okay. So he spent days and weeks pouring into my life Then I walked on the set that he had opened the door and took the microphone, looked into that camera, and the Spirit of God moved supernaturally across the nation, and miracles began to happen. Yes, sir. But it wasn't because I had it to start with. He said, you have it, and I'm going to stir it up and train you how to develop to make a difference in people's lives. And since then, we've raised millions of dollars for television. But it was him as a friend, as a relationship that God gave me, who said, you can do it, and I'm going to push you to pursue this thing. Number 8, see greatness in you that you can't even see in yourself. There you go. See greatness in you that you can't even see in yourself. Many times we're blinded because of our past or whatever, and you need a relationship and a leader around you that will push you because they see in you what God has deposited. See, every one of you sitting here, God's made a deposit in you. God has deposited in you. So, relationships that are God-sent are doorways. Relationships are doorways to your next level, to the things that God has for you, to your calling on your life. And so it's important that you understand and that you relentlessly go after God relationships. Now, I'm going to say something maybe a little bit tough for some of you, but you'll get over it. As an apostle, I want to say this to you, as an apostolic prophetic voice, don't get discouraged when God tells you to have a relationship with a God person and that you haven't got it going yet. Be relentless to make that relationship what it ought to be. I wish I could tell you every relationship I have right now that is awesome, that is powerful in mine and Dee's life was easy to get, but it wasn't. They're busy. They're building the kingdom. They've got 1,000 people, more than that, pulling at them. So for me to want a relationship, because I want their wisdom to be poured into my life, I don't want anything they got. I want what they have inside them. I remember the first time I went to minister for Pastor Rod Parsley, and I looked him in the eye and said to him, sir, I don't want anything you have in the natural, but I want everything you've got in the spiritual. You understand what I'm saying? To me, that's what it's all about. I'm not going to be a relationship with somebody because they got millions of dollars. I want to know, what do you have inside you that can impact my life? So, and the more mature that I get, I was going to say older, but the more mature that I get, the more I value the God relationships that I have in my life. So it's important. Another thing that I just want to pitch out at you, when you make relationships with godly people, there is a power released in you to expand your borders. I've never became a close friend with a God relationship that I didn't expand. My life expanded, my ministry expanded. So it's important that you build your destiny in the kingdom on God relationships. There are big, big links to where you're going in the kingdom. Never allow the devil to isolate you. God never created you to be a lone ranger. God created you to have a tonto. Now, y'all are all too young for that, but I understand what that means. Yeah. God demands of us that we be connected to the body of Christ. The most stupid thing I hear right now from some people is the church is no longer important that I go there. Well, how stupid is that? When God said, go to church. I didn't say go to church. God said go to church. And for somebody to say, well, I can sit at home watching, and if I don't really like what that preacher's saying, I can flip the channel to somebody else. Yeah, and you're not going to get nothing. And I encourage you to call that preacher that you're sending your money to when you need somebody to bury your loved ones. You know, I had a lady in Oklahoma City that I pastored, pretty wealthy lady, and she said, well, you know, I'm sending Paul Crouch my tithe at TBN. I'm going to support you with some offerings. I said, will you be sure, because she had a beautiful daughter. I said, your daughters, when we get married here in a couple of years, call Paul. See if he'll run down and do your daughter's wedding. No, we need a church because it touches our lives. Don't ever, ever, ever let the devil lie to you and tell you church attendance is not important. I'm going to say that again. It is vital to your leadership and your growth in the kingdom. And so it's important that that happens. Now, okay, I'm going to take 5 more minutes and I'm going to answer questions, okay? I want to talk about some non-negotiables in my relationships. Things I will not tolerate or compromise. Okay? These are very important that you get a hold of. Number one, I will not put up with less than personal integrity. Nobody is going to be in the inner circle of my life without personal integrity. Connect to people who prize integrity. The foundation of a lasting relationship. I want a lasting relationship with Bishop, Farah, Deborah, Dr. I don't want a moment of relationship. I want a lasting relationship. But for that to happen, they have to value integrity. Okay? Second thing, never compromise relationships by connecting to a stingy person. Make sure your relationships are with generous, giving people that are never selfish. If you watch people in church and they don't ever give, make sure they don't get close to you. Just stay away from them. The third non-negotiable of a wise relationship is an unwavering commitment to truth. Now, I want to tell you something about Dr. James Payne. Dee and I talked about it yesterday. He will speak truth to you whether you like it or don't like it. Because he loves you enough to speak truth to you. Sometimes people wobble. You know, they just don't want, they just say, well, I don't know. If you ask Dr. James Payne a question, he's going to look you in the eye and speak truth. It may have a raw edge on the truth, where it's cutting some stuff off of you. But I promise you, it's the bedrock of a God relationship. The fourth thing, connect to people that have long-term vision, desiring to leave a godly legacy. Connect to people with a long-term vision. I don't want somebody connecting to me for 2 months. I'm pouring everything into them, and they don't have any desire for a long-term vision. Well, it's wasting my time. Yes, sir. Soon to be 77 this month. I ain't got time for that. Hear me? So it's important that you have a relationship that will never abandon you under pressure.
There you go. Wow. There you go.
They don't abandon you when things are rough. So, God relationships to me are sacred. Do you understand that? They're sacred. I want a relationship, and it's sacred to me. So I guard it. I look at it as a treasure. If I had $1 million cash laying here, I would kind of keep my eye on it. Well, my relationship is worth more than $1 million. So I have to keep my eye on that relationship. Number 5, passionate pursuit of kingdom mindset is a must. I will not compromise. I want kingdom builders around my life. I do not want somebody that is so narrow-minded with narrow vision that they can only see 2 feet in front of them. I want them to be able to see the kingdom, that we need to reach the whole world. It's great to reach Maryville, but my God, we got to reach the world. We have to reach and build the kingdom. I want everybody my life touches to come to my local church. But if they don't, I still want to get them right with God. That's kingdom building. So I want to be connected to kingdom building. Okay, number 6. Know the power of loyalty. Behind your back, loyalty. Biblical connections demand loyalty behind my back. I was sitting in a meeting with a group of ministers one day, and they said, one of them spoke up and said, you know, I just really don't like Dr. Murdoch. And I said, well, you know what? I don't like you. They said, well, I thought you liked us. I said, you just changed my mind. If you will speak against Dr. Murdoch behind his back, you'll speak against me behind my back. So I'm going to excuse myself from this meeting. See, I'm not going to tolerate somebody attacking my God-given relationship. I just say next. 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 Because you're not right with God if you will attack the man behind his back. If you want to confront him to your face in love, that's fine. I'll stand there and help. If that person offended you because of something they said biblically, let's get it resolved. You know, I'm from the country. So I was preaching and I said, you know, I don't have any time for a bunch of queers. And I don't. And God knows that's the way He made me. If that offends you, come, I'll talk to you about it. But a lady in the church, that was a member of the church, a great lady, really servant of God, came up to me after church and said, you offended me today in your message. I said, well, I'm sorry. What did I say? And she said, well, you said you didn't have a lot of time to bed down with queers. I said, well, I don't. I'll preach to them and I'll love them. But I ain't going to have them in my inner circle. Not till they get right. See, some of y'all getting quiet.
Come on.
I am not going to be contaminated with inner circle relationships that don't want God. I don't care how much money they got or whatever they got. If they don't want God, I don't want them in my inner circle.
Come on, sir.
I'll be like Jesus, they can be in the multitude, and I'll preach to them. But he never had a person that was full of the devil in his inner circle of 3. Check him out. So you have to make relationships important enough to your life that you guard them. Okay? You know, people know me by now. They know that I'm dear friends of Dr. James Payne. Would give my life for him, and so they never say anything bad about him because they know I'd get in their face. You know, and I think people need to know us. That, hey, you don't talk to him about other people or he's going to get in your face. And just remember what I told you. If they'll talk about somebody to you behind somebody's back, they'll crucify you. Hello? Did you know that Sister Hula Mahai is doing... Well, have you confronted Sister Hula Mahai? Well, no, I'm calling to have you pray for her. No, they're calling to gossip. Okay, I've got to go. The next thing that is absolute and non-negotiable to me is purity must be your lifestyle. Biblical lifestyle with right motives and a lifestyle that's pure before God is a must for my life. Never compromise your principles. Be around people that's got pure hearts, right motives, and they want to be blessed. So, learn to protect your God-given anointing by watching the relationships that are wanting to hook up to you.